Do you find yourself searching through your fabric stash for the perfect coordinates? Do you strive to be more confident in your color combinations? If you answered yes or just love fabric, then a subscription to Goody's Color Club is for you. Goody's Bundle Club is a quarterly subscription program with carefully curated fabric bundles by me sent right to your doorstep. I handpick every fabric in each delivery with 12 half-yard pieces, which will only be available to Goody's Bundle Club members. In addition to an exclusive Stash Builder bundle, each delivery includes a booklet of information on the fabrics I have chosen, the fabric designer, additional fabric suggestions to use with the bundle, and quilt patterns that would be a perfect pairing with the fabric. Hi, my name is Gudrun from GE Designs. Welcome to our live show, Tipsy Tuesday. Hi, everybody. Thank you for being with us. Whether you're live on Facebook or YouTube, make sure you say hi in the comments, introduce yourself, and tell us where you're tuning in from. And of course, if you're new around here, make sure you're subscribed to our channel on YouTube, or you follow our page and sign up for those notifications if you're watching on Facebook. It's always great to receive some thumbs up, hearts, and feedback. Keep commenting throughout the show. We love that, to connect with all of you and have you be a big part of the show. So we have an awesome one for you today. We're very excited about our grand opening of our classroom coming up this Friday, and so thrilled to be welcoming some quilters into our building. And then, of course, today I have some new quilts to share with you, some new fabric, and lots of fun stuff. So stay tuned, and you want to stick around all the way through the end, because we have a great giveaway at the end of the show with a question. So it doesn't matter if you're watching live or later on, you can answer that giveaway question and be entered into our giveaway. So that being said, let's check out who was our winner from last week's show. My giveaway question was, what is your favorite feature or thing about your sewing machine? And our winner is Drum roll, please. Mr. HP, Susie Tibbetts. Woohoo, Susie! Her answer was her needle threader and thread cutter. That was a very common answer with everybody. Those two things, and then the dual feed systems or dual feed feet. That was really great. Say hello to Mr. HP, everybody. But Susie, you know us. You sent us an email to help@GQuilt Designs to claim your prize. You get your $25 gift card to go shopping. Are you there? Are you on camera? No?
Hi. Hi.
It's not working? Oh, there he is. Well, he runs everything behind the scenes. It was a little, of course, tech issues that right before the show had to reboot. How many times? 3 times?
Yeah, it's still weird.
It's not really cooperating today. So show everybody please show us some grace. But of course, the whole warehouse and all staff is prepping for our fun on Friday. We are having an open house, opening our classroom for the first time, getting everybody to come check it out. And our grand opening is going to be Friday from 1 to 3:30, and so you can sign up for some open sew. You can sign up for some sewing for a cause sessions, or we're going to have some sew-along sessions. So you will be able to also, if you're not close to us but are planning a trip later on, you can sign up online, and everything will be live on our website at 1 o'clock on Friday. So we're thrilled. We're very excited. The sewing machines showed up yesterday. They're all set up in our classroom. Amazing machines. So we're excited to share them with all of you that come visit us. So any questions on our classroom or what we will be offering? We have just kind of a very simple schedule for the summer. We're kind of testing the waters and seeing what works. So our open sew is just where you can come and sew from 9 to 4, and you want to reserve a spot. It costs $10 to reserve a spot. You have access to all of our rulers, cutting mats. You just bring your own thread, bring your own rotary blade. We have cutters if you want to. And then you can also reserve a machine. So we have a limited amount of machines, of course, so you can reserve a machine, or you can bring your own, come to open sew. The second thing is we call it our sew-along, so it's not really a class, but each day will be dedicated to a pattern. So you will have assistants in the classroom for the whole day. We'll do little demos throughout the day, but probably it's not going to be as detailed as like a full-on class. So that's great, because sometimes you maybe are halfway through that particular quilt and just want to come and join in and get some tips to get going and get finished. Or maybe you just want to start one, and it's always good to get started on the right foot. So we're going to have those. And then our third thing that we're going to offer is our Sewing for a Cause Day. Those are free, absolutely free. We will provide everything, the fabrics, the thread, and everything else. And so you can reserve, you have to reserve a spot though. You can reserve a machine or just bring your own. But this is, we have chosen a charity for each period of time, and we're going to just be making quilts to pass on for a good cause. So that's exciting. I think we're going to have some great regulars coming in for that session. It's going to be fun.
What sewing machines do you have?
So we, of course, have our beautiful Baby Lock sewing machines. We talked about this last week when we introduced our grand opening. We are partnering up with Baby Lock. As many of you know that have been watching me for a while, I got my first Baby Lock 2020 and have been sewing on it, or 2019, I don't remember. Just absolutely fell head over heels in love with it. And so the Baby Lock Chorus is what we're going to be offering in our classrooms, which are amazing. One of the almost the top of the line for quilting. And so we're very excited to be sharing more. We'll be sharing lots of videos and information on everything.
Will you be at the open house?
I will be there. We will all be there. Kobe will be there. Mr. HP will be there, and the whole staff. So you're going to meet everybody pretty much. Yes. And there'll be some snacks. There'll be some favorite snacks around. check that out. If you can come visit us. If not, we will of course have our Happy Friday show at 12, an hour before the grand opening kicks off. So we'll be sharing videos and fun things that we have in store, all the setup. So don't you worry. Any questions on anything else, sir? Delina loves her baby lock crescendo. That's awesome. Yes, I have sewn on a crescendo. Or crescendo, how do you pronounce it? It was in a classroom. I was teaching in a classroom, a baby lock classroom, so I had that joy to do that. There will be some balls. Yes, there will be some Jeezy balls.
Some people might not know what the balls are.
Oh, those are our big malted milk balls. Like, they're boulders by the Drool and Moose, which is a chocolate store here in Minneapolis. We love them. We include it in all of our retreat boxes and even in our perfect pairing boxes, so it's become a staple. And I saw a question, do you have a baby lock in Florida and Minnesota, or do you take it back and forth? Oh, I gotta have one in each place. So I have my Solaris in Florida, and then I have my Choruses here. So no, not lugging them back and forth. By the way, we are back in Minnesota. Mr. HP and Kobe made the trek and drove on Friday and Saturday. Oh boy, so we are back and we were having a wonderful spring, almost like summertime right away. But what I do love is that the mornings are very nice and cool. Went for a run early. It was like 50s, lower 50s in the morning. And so it felt really nice to run. And the best part, lilacs are in full bloom everywhere. And so you run past them and it's just the most beautiful scent in the air. It's just awesome. So I ran by lots and lots of lilacs this morning. So I'll definitely be taking advantage of that every morning. Love it. So I know they bloom at different times all over the country. So let us know in the comments if lilacs are blooming in your area. Some areas might not ever have any lilacs because they are, you know, have affinity to certain climates, I guess. But those of you that don't, maybe you would subscribe to Color Club and remember the lilac bundle that I sent you guys back in April, which was awesome, beautiful. All right, any more questions? Oh, lilacs are all in bloom all over Ohio, Illinois. No lilacs in Florida, I know. Beautiful, love that. I know they smell wonderful. I even had a lilac candle in my office today. It's awesome. I know, yeah, you can smell it. It's in the air everywhere. So we're going to kick it off right away here with my tip of the day. You might remember if you watched our last week's show. For Tipsy Tuesday, I showed you how to use your mini ruler and my technique for making quarter square triangles. Before that, I showed you how I make my half square triangles. So now we're going to move on and give you a little advanced lesson, a little extra one, kind of in that same area, and you can make a 3 triangle block, how I do that. So a combination unit, whatever you want to call it. But let's check out our tip of the day. In previous tip of the days, I've shown you my method of making half square triangles and quarter square triangles using my handy Stripology mini ruler. And then if I need larger ones, I use the squared or the XL. There's an easy math for both. But what if we need to make a unit that is a combination? So a unit that has 3 triangles, 2 small and 1 large. Easy transition for the math. Just like when we were making the quarter square triangles, we start with squares, cut the squares 1.5 inches larger than our finished size of the quarter square triangle. And that's how we start as well with the combination unit. So we start with our squares and work the same way to the point of making the half square triangles. We cut them apart. We end up with 2 half square triangles. And so instead of placing those together, we are going to need 2 squares of that third color. And this one, these two you cut an inch larger than your finished unit. So same math as if we were doing half square triangles. And so these guys, you are going to lay on top of your half square triangle unit. Make sure that your seam is horizontal when you place this one on top. So I started with 5-inch squares making this one. It was a charm pack, so mine is a little bit uneven edges. Then this one is cut at 4.5 inches because my finished size is going to be 3.5 inches. I align it on top, matching up the corners. As you can see, my half square triangle is a little bit larger, but don't worry. You're going to just cut this apart as we do when making the half square triangles, corner to corner, and then take this straight to our sewing machine. Sew right on the cut edges and then press towards the larger piece, the large triangle, and you will end up with 2 units like this. So just note, if you're making these, you will have 2 mirror image units with this technique. That means the black is on the right over here, but the black is on the left on the other side. So just know that if you're making something that has maybe these 2 colors the same, then of course you don't have to worry, but it's a great technique and a lot of time saved there. So as for trimming these up, it's the same technique. So this one is going to be trimmed to 4 inches because the finished size is going to be 3.5. So I'm using the black lines, and just like with the quarter square triangle units, I'm using the diagonal line this way on the long seam, and then I have another one going the other direction, which I line up with the short seam here. I make my 2 cuts for the 0 and the 4, and turn my unit and trim the other 2 sides. Again, I have lines to line up with all of those seams, and also the top and bottom. And there we have it. There it is. Whatever you want to call that unit, they are called many different things. I like to call it, you know, like half square triangle units, my quarter square triangle units, shortened down to HSTs, QSTs, and then so I like to call this the combination or a 3 triangle unit. So let me know if you have any questions on this, and if you don't have the mini yet, I'm just saying there are so many uses for that one when you're doing not necessarily blocks. You might not like making little blocks, but it's the block parts that is so good for. So it is half square triangles, quarter square triangles, combination units, anything that you are working on that you can trim. So any questions? Love my mini. Great tip. Love this technique. So yes. Peggy says, cannot imagine not having my 3 rulers. Yes, love it. That's great. A lot of you that don't have it yet. I love that you're saying yet, because it really does so many great things. And as I had been mentioning throughout the past few weeks since we did our Stripology virtual retreat, where I taught everybody to make flying geese units using the rulers, where you can use all of the rulers to make different size flying geese. The mini comes in handy, and that is all coming out in a book very, very soon. Very soon. Book will come out this summer, but you'll hear about it very, very soon. Quilts on the set, yes. Forgot to mention that at the start. We have, I have my Christmas in Europe right behind me. It's, you only see a small part of it. We have a quilt here on this side. is prisms. I made also a couple of years ago from a fabric line called Christmas Morning, which is the same line that we used a lot in the Christmas in Europe quilt. And then we have Helena on this side, the original that's on the pattern cover. So speaking of quilts, we were able to get some advanced yardage of one of our lines for, that we have on pre-order. So it is called Dawn on the Prairie. It's by Fancy That Design House for Moda Fabrics. I absolutely love it, and this one I curated myself, so I wanted to have 4 navies, 4 of those kind of light green, sagey green teals, and then I wanted to have 4 of those rusty reds. So I added the 2 on the bottom. So it's a custom goodie bundle. And so we got some fabric, and so what did we do? We made 2 quilts out of 1 half-yard bundle, 12-piece half-yard bundle. So I wanted to show you the quilt. So the first one we made was fractions, and we made that from, that's not fractions. Well, it's actually in the Stripology Squared book. Yes, but let's look at the book first. So it's in this book, Stripology Squared book. The pattern, you can find fractions in there. I forgot to put the photo of my original quilt in. It was kind of red, white, and gray. But here's the one we made from the bundle. It looks awesome. So here's the flat shot of it. It's just perfect. I love how the 3 colors mix all over together, and they just give you just this wonderful warm feel. There's a beautiful light fabric that we put on the back that we're getting in yardage. And so we took some awesome photos of it, and I can show you the quilt up close here. We have, yeah, Kara took some great photos of it. So the quilting pattern we used on this one is called Fern Gully, I believe. Yeah, Fern Gully. And it's really cool. It's kind of like all these fern leaves going all over the place. It's really cool. And here you can see the backing. How awesome is this? So we'll be getting this one for 3 yards and 1 yards. And so we made this one from the 10-inch squares. We cut the bundle into 10-inch squares, and then you have about 8 inches left. And so from the rest of it, we made another quilt called Gina. Gina is a single pattern, and she doesn't get enough attention, and I don't know why. I think she's fabulous. She is background heavy, but if you find a background that you absolutely love and want to make shine, then you can really just kind of choose your other fabric. So what you need for that one, you can use a combination of 10-inch squares, 5-inch squares, and 2.5-inch strips. So you use all 3 in the pattern, but it's so perfect. You find a great background, and then you can use just kind of scraps for the other pieces, because you just need a few 10-inch squares, a few 5-inch squares, and you can of course cut that from the rest of the bundle. So we cut some, like a 5-inch strip, and we could cut that into 5 by 10-inch rectangles and the 5-inch squares, and then you still have some 2.5-inch strips. And this quilt is just gorgeous. I love the background. We will of course be getting that background fabric also in yardage. It's really cool, and it has all those colors in it. And then here you can see, here is the rectangles and the 5-inch squares, and then these are all from the 2.5-inch strips. We used this is this is not from the line, but I love this backing fabric. It's beautiful to go with this. And the quilting pattern that we use is called Fabulous Feathers. Just perfect, and it's when you have a background heavy fabric, you can really show off the quilting. So I love this pattern for, like I said, if you find a cool background, you want to really feature it, or maybe you're making a quilt to kind of really fit a room, so you can find the background that works with the room, and then just choose the colors for the rest of it that really work for that room. So maybe just like maybe a color club color, and it's just all monochromatic in the same color. So I love that.
Is Gina in the book?
Gina is a single pattern, and you can make 3. It's a 3 sizes. It's lap, I think a twin, and then a queen or king. I don't remember, but it just has this secondary pattern that really is fun, and you can make it as scrappy as you want, or you can really tone it down, all based on the background. And of course, you can do a scrappy background too.
Prism's the horse quilt?
Prisms is the horse quilt, yes. I'll show you some more photos of prisms a little bit later. But if you have any questions on these, you see any questions? More questions? Oh, what book is Gina? Gina is a single pattern. Fractions is in Stripology Squared. But it's like, this is what you can do. You know, I know I was really kind of literal when I was explaining how you can take our half-rare bundles and make 2 quilts in the last Mixology 3 book. But you can still do this with all of my patterns. So you can take a pattern that uses 10-inch squares from the books or from a single pattern, and then another pattern from the books or single patterns that uses 2.5-inch strips or 5-inch squares or anything else to be able to do the combination. And that's what's really, really fun and beautiful. Helena is the one that is here on this side. You can only see a little portion of Helena. But we also made this beautiful little table runner that, you know, we got this charm pack called Stateside. And so I think we have a photo. Do we have a photo of all the fabric? So it's by Sweetwater. So it has great scale for making small table runners. But it has like all the states. I love the print with all the states. And then it has just like a, you know, a little patriotic theme to it, and we made a little Diana. So the little Diana pattern is a single pattern, and yeah, there you can see part of the runner. Yep, there it is, and you can see the pattern there. We have it both as a printed pattern or a PDF. And you use the mini ruler again. Of course, here's my hero, the mini ruler. And the quilting pattern that we did on this is just called Uneven Loops. And it is just a simple little wave. And so I think that's really cool because it's kind of like the flag waves, but it has a little like, so we'll do a wave and then a little stop and wave again. So I really love that simple quilting for a scrappy table runner. But how festive is this for 4th of July? And to have just summer. It just feels like summer. And then one charm pack makes this table runner. You just have to add a border, a binding and a backing. So that's all you need extra. Just love that. Really quick, easy, simple, and cost-effective little pattern. And like I said, the mini is the hero. Again, it's so much fun to make these little patterns. All of our little patterns that start with LIL, that they use the mini ruler. Yeah, totally could. You could just make, you know, get 2 or 3 charm packs because it's just blocks. So you can extend it and make more. Definitely. Definitely make a bed runner. Yes, for sure. So any questions on that one? One more thing I was going to share with you. We had such a great response to our reorganization of our remnant bags. Remember when we had the special back in April, and we started kind of color coordinating our remnant bags to the best of our ability. We had a great special on them, so we had a great response to that. And so now we took also, you might remember, we took our color bundles, our basic bundles, and created basic mystery bundles. So 6-piece mystery bundles and by color. So you can just, if you need some yellows, you can find a mystery bundle, basic bundle with yellow and get all of those colors. Of course, you can't choose the fabrics, but we really make sure that they stay within in that color family. So now we went even further and took our mystery bundles that used to be 12-piece. We broke them down, and now they're just a 6-piece, and we sorted them. We sorted them kind of by theme. And I have to give a big shout out to my daughter, Svana. She came back from school and dove in and took this on. She's really good at kind of organizing. So here's the themes that we have now. So again, there's 6 pieces in here. We have geometric bundles. So that's all geometric prints, and there's going to be all kinds of things in here, all kinds of geometrics. Then we have dotted mystery bundles. So that's going to be prints that have kind of like dots or dotty textures at all kinds of, you know, different things and from different lines. Of course, all great quality fabrics. We have novelty mystery bundles, so all kinds of novelty fabrics in here, a variety of things. And then we have our floral mystery bundles. So if you like florals, great prices for half yards of different florals. So they are all available now. We, of course, had before, we had our plaits and stripes, so we still got those. Strip plaits and stripes, that's a 6-piece, just plaits and stripes. We have our Halloween fall mystery bundles with 6 pieces, and same thing, we have our winter Christmas mystery bundles. So those are still available. She also took our 1-yard mystery bundles, and what you will see in those now, they are, so they're 5 1-yards, great price, and they are semi-color coordinated as well. So they're all kind of colors that work together. So that's also a great way to get some really good prices on some fabric. And so here's the remnant bag that we had. This is 1 pound of fabric, so approximately 3 yards. We try to kind of color coordinate them. And we have also our scrappy strips. This one is 2.5 pounds of fabric, and all kinds of strips varying in width from about 3.5, 4 inches down to 1.5 inches, but they're all kinds of width, so you can trim that up and make your own assortments if you love making scrappy quilts. And we do also have, we will have always in stock the fat quarter mystery bundles. We're breaking those down to smaller packs of 12. And so this is stuff that we always are gonna, we have 108s, yeah, we have a 108 remnant bag. So we have the regular cotton remnant bag, we have a flannel remnant bag, and then we have a, and yeah, we have a flannel mystery bundle as well. We have it all. So whatever you are needing and want to kind of not spend too much on it, it's great. And then the newest one is our Cuddle remnant bag. So now we have Cuddle remnant bags. What's in here is about 3 pounds, always at least 3 pounds of fabric, of Cuddle fabric. And pieces range in width from 60 to 90 wide. And the remnants are anywhere from, you know, 1/4 yard to maybe 7/8 of a yard. So the total, if we would just add up the size of fabric, it's going to be like around 108 by 60 if you total it all together. But of course you get all kinds of pieces. So, but another great way to get some fun stuff for a good price. So if you make donation quilts for, you know, especially for anything with kids, this will be a great one. Great one to grab up. And like I said, if we are out of anything, these always get restocked. So just sign up for notifications and you'll get a notification next time they're in stock. And we sometimes have scrap bags as well. So lots of ways. We try to reuse and utilize everything, all our little cutoffs. We don't throw anything away. So we want to pass that on. Okay, we got some great new fabrics. And so there was a reason why I had these 2 quilts up here, because Lella Boutique's newest Christmas line is not called Christmas morning like these. It's called Christmas Eve. And it's very, very similar. So we created a 12-piece bundle, very similar to the bundle we had back 2 years ago. And so let's start with that one. So you will notice that the main print is very similar to the border print that we used for Christmas in Europe, just a slightly different scale on the blooms. And so we have 4 reds. We have the medium or the smaller floral. I really love this with the little holly and the little small flower. So it has just the greens and that off-white color. We have little wreaths, really cute. And then these branches that I think are adorable as well, just with these little red berries. So these, we have 4 reds, and then going into the greens, we have that smaller floral in the green background and has the red berries, just a little bit of that slate color in there. We have kind of a polka dot, pin dot in the green. And then the branches, I love that it's just a tad bit lighter green, so it gives kind of that depth and texture when you put them all together. And then we have a typography print that just says fa la la. And I love that, you know, sometimes it was, when I had my quilt shop in Iceland, it was hard to sell anything with words on it when it was English, but fa la la, this is pretty universal because that song is probably available in most languages. So then we have the slate colorway. We have that same main print, which is very similar to the border print I used on my Prisms quilt that I'm going to show you photos of. And then the smaller floral. We have the dots, the polka dots or the pin dots. It's a little bit larger than like a typical pin dot. And then we have the beautiful wreaths, and it's a slightly lighter gray or slate color. Let me fit these all in here. But I think it's really, really pretty. So as far as the fabric pull for this one, we have quite a bit of yardage available from the line, because I know a lot of you are going to be wanting to get some of this. So if you made Christmas in Europe, this is perfect to make other accessories, because this is completely going to match it all. So we have the main print in 1 yard in both the red and the slate. And then we also have the small print in the slate. This was probably one of my favorites, so I really want to make some napkins and things with that. We also have the dots in the green. And then these are the ones that are in the bundle, but then we have dots in red and in the multicolor. So this is one of the prints that went with the Christmas morning line, and so we have it, again, just a little bit different scale, so it will really read the same. We have 2 more prints from the line that are not in the bundle. We have a couple of plaids. So we have the Christmas Eve plaid in the green. It has a little bit of light blue in it. It's kind of the same color as the leaves. And then the Christmas Eve in the multi, so that ivory background with a red and green. So these all great fabrics. Now some of them we have in 3 yards as well. We have the large floral in both the red and the gray, and then the little dots. So if you wanted to get a little more for a background or some backs. And then let me show you my fabric pull. So always to have more options, I pulled a grunge in the candy cane red, a little bit darker red, but still would get like that emphasis. And then the bumbleberries in the post box red, it's going to be that lighter color, will really hold all of the lights and the darks in there. For the greens, we have grunge juniper, which actually I used in the Christmas in Europe quilt. And then I love this one, the bumbleberries and the garden sage. It's like really perfect with all these colors. For the slate, we found a couple of kind of on the lighter side. The seedling and the dove kind of goes with the lighter grays, and so does the floor elements in the storm. Storm winds it's called. And then I wanted to include a little bit sharper contrast, because there is just a little bit of charcoal everywhere. If you wanted a sharp contrast, I would probably go with a dark, either the canvas and the ebony, because it has some gray in it, or if you wanted more of a warmer tone, the Provisions in the onyx is more of a brown. So these two would be both great if you wanted to create that sharper contrast. And as for a background, I would go with either just a grunge white paper, which is what we used for the Christmas in Europe with this, or if you wanted a little more texture, a little more grunginess, one of the dry brush in the cream, which is one of our Color Club colors for May, the mushroom. I love this fabric. I think it's so good because the texture is like this grayish brown, which is perfect with this tone. So definitely going to use these together. And this is not all. We have one great piece that goes, we're selling separately. And you've seen this a few years back. They came out with a gigantic panel. So this panel measures 58 by 73. And it's gorgeous. It has that dot in the background of it, and then the words on it, "'Tis the season to be jolly." It has that same print as that small print. You'll see the same flowers. But let me show you the full. Do you have a photo of it, the panel? No, you don't. Okay. Well, this is what it looks like. It's just really, really beautiful. You can use this just as a cheater, put a border on it, or just bind it. We saw some folks do a little bit of chenille on the letters or anything, a little bit of enhancements to it, or just quilt it. I actually, when they came up with this back in, I think it was 2020 or 2019, I used it for the back of my quilt. So I had made a little bit bigger quilt, so I bordered it, and then it was the backing for a quilt. So you have a double-sided, beautiful Christmas quilt. So love this, and these sold out so fast last time. They were flying out. So this is Christmas Eve, kind of the follow-up to the Christmas morning, as it is in real life. Christmas Eve follows, well, actually, it's ahead of Christmas morning, so it's kind of reversed.
Yeah.
It's reversed. So the thing is, it messes me up is because we, in Iceland, we celebrate on Christmas Eve.
Why do you do that?
That's just what we do.
That's not right.
Not until 6 o'clock. When the church bells rings at 6 o'clock, that's what rings in Christmas. So really love this. Any questions on Christmas morning, let me know. Christmas Eve, sorry. Christmas Eve.
Good thing it was up
Christmas
this week.
Eve, I know. I caught it. But I love it. It's beautiful. I'd definitely be holding on to some of this to match my quilt. Can we put up the quilt? The prisms? So there it is, hanging on my couch. Yeah, so I love that. And you can see that gray border. You can see this print is just a tad bit different from last year. And then same colors in the greens and the reds, but different prints. So totally like a continuation, more variety. And if you're still holding on to some Christmas morning fabrics, you mix them all together. They're going to be awesome.
Christmas night's going to be next.
Christmas night? Maybe. Who knows?
I should create that.
You should create that. Okay. Good luck, honey. We're going to continue on with some Christmas. And this one is also kind of a continuation from a line last year. This is a classic, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And so last year we had a big bundle, 14 pieces. And some of those they kind of keep printing, but then they add new ones. So I just decided to do a small 6-piece bundle just with the new prints, because I know so many of you collect the Grinch fabrics and have a selection from not just last year, years before. And so here's the 6 new prints in a little 6-piece bundle. So let me show you. And they are always so cute. This one, Merry Grinchmas. You will see all of the all the characters celebrating. And this is a little bit of a different background tone, so a little bit creamier. So it's like a creamy taupe color. So we have 2 prints in that color, so a smaller scale with all the characters running around with the Christmas garlands. So cute, trying to decorate the tree. And then a third one is this really cute print with the wreaths. So you have the beautiful wreaths, and it's kind of a little bit of a texture. I don't know if you see it, but it has those lime greens, the Grinch green little stars kind of speckled in the background. And then we have the 3 classic colors. We have the red print, which features his dog and the presents. And we have this beautiful blue, which kind of carries over from some of the other prints with the characters from the story. And we have to have a Grinch green print. We have just this one's just called the Grinch. And so it has all the different images of the Grinch. And I absolutely love this. So let me show you some fabric pulls. Of course, I had to pull a couple of Grinch greens, and we have the sugar and the citron. And then we also have the color wash and the textured olive oil. That would be perfect for that color. We have some of the neutrals. The grunge and the whisper is the perfect tone, or a canvas antique white. It has that same kind of like off-white cream color, creamy taupe. For the reds, I would recommend the Floral Elements in the flame, or Bumbleberry's Ladybird Red. So it's a little bit brighter, a little bit more orange in it. For the blue, I love this cracked shadow in the Moonstone. It's like a perfect match to this blue. If you want it a little bit brighter, kind of matching some of the blues from last year, the Moonscape in the Dresden color is perfect for that. Also gives you a little bit of directional, so it'd be great for bindings and things. And then if you wanted a contrast, I would probably go with black, because there's quite a bit of black, but kind of toning it down by making it a little bit charcoal. So this is Seedling in the Licorice. So love this with it, but that's not all. We have 2 more prints, and it's actually a larger scale of this print here, but this is Minky. Yes, so Minky, very short, super soft. So we have 2 different prints in the Minky. We have this one, and then we have the Grinch green. So how perfect for quilt backs. Either of those are just beautiful. So very short nap, so very easy to incorporate into a quilt back because it's very short. And we do both, whether it's long or short, but we love it. So this we have, and the cuts are, it's 60 inches wide, and we have it both in 1.5 yard cuts and 3 yard cuts. So I know these are gonna also fly out, so that's gonna be very popular. So the Grinch, last year we made a Grinch quilt. We made a Wanda, and let me show you the Wanda that we made from last year's bundle. Yeah, and we have a Grinch in the house as well. So cute. But that's a great pattern to kind of have fun with. It's playful, shows all the prints, and nice and colorful. So that is our new fabrics. So any questions on any of those? Of course, here's the images of the Minkies.
He's a mean one. Mr. Grinch.
Oh, there you go. I don't think we get shut off if you sing it. It's only if you play it. I just snap. Oh, that's Musical Musings by Mr. HP. And Colby's moaning behind us because it's already dinner time. And he's like, let's get this going here.
Seriously, like.
I know. He is moaning. He's probably still on Eastern time zone, so it's way past his dinner time. But if you don't have any more questions on all of our new stuff, we're excited. It's really starting to look a little bit like Christmas. Just can't really say that. Well,
No.
I mean right here, right now. Like we have Christmas quilts, like right now. But
Christmas
it's okay.
means snow and
We go
cold.
outside and it's nice and warm. Don't worry about it. It's what is it? 80 degrees here, 83 degrees. So nothing to complain about. But remember, Colleen will be with us in the morning, 9:30. with her 1 Yard Wednesday deal of the week. So don't miss it. Don't miss it. Sometimes if you hesitate too long, all of those specials are gone. So make sure that you catch that. But we're going to finish with my giveaway question. So if you've been watching, thank you for being here. And here is your question. All you got to do is answer in the comments, and you're automatically entered to win a $25 gift card, which we will draw and announce next week on our Tipsy Tuesday show. So here's my question. With our classroom opening, I would love to hear this. Do you prefer to sew with company or on your own? And I'm sure most of you are going to answer both, because that's me. Like, sometimes I would love to have company, friends to sew with, but most times I have to do it on my own because it's proprietary information. I'm working on new stuff, but sometimes I just like to do it on my own. That's my therapy. But you know, I love to sew with friends every once in a while. So just tell us your answer in the comments, and we will automatically enter you into the giveaway. And our next show will be May 30th at 4 p.m. Central, and I have to tell you this. You don't want to miss it. Yes, you do not want to miss next week. We have a huge announcement. Some really cool things coming from GE Designs, coming from me, so don't miss next week's show. It is going to be May 30th, 4 p.m. Central Time, Tipsy Tuesday. And our next Happy Friday show is this Friday, May 26th.
Wait, what's this 3 p.m.? Who did that?
Oh, you did that, because it's 12 p.m. on my sheet of paper. Happy Friday, this Friday at 12 p.m. Central. And remember, we're going to show you some videos from our classroom because it happens right before our grand opening. But so I hope you join us too for a Happy Friday and a toast to our new classroom. But that's it for us tonight. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow morning on Colleen's show. If not, Friday. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.